Here we have a new 2024 Ford Edge. This Edge comes in the SC trim level with all-wheel drive. This color is carbonized gray, and then we get ebony cloth interior. Now the powertrain consists of a twin-scroll turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It's a 2-liter, and that's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. But with this being the base model, we're just gonna see what all standard features we get here for the money. Now as we come around to the front end, we get these LED headlamps. And I love the front end look here, especially with that grille. With the grille and the carbonized gray, it looks fantastic to me. And over here to the wheels, we get these Silver Machine 18-inch aluminum wheels. Not a bad look. I'd probably swap those out personally, but most people probably won't mind them. We get passive keyless entry on the front, power door lock controls, power mirror controls. We can toggle those on or off and adjust. Rear window lock, one-touch automatic up and down windows for the front, regular power windows for the back, bottle holder, map pocket, headlamp controls. There's the auto mode there, and then your traction control can be toggled there. Hood release, and you hit this switch here, and we do get a manual tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Now to the driver's seat, we have manual everything, but we do have lumbar support, so that's a big plus. We have manual lumbar support. You can pump the seat up or down here. Seat back can be adjusted there, and then we can scoot the seat back and forth by pulling up on that bar. Now I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, so let's see how the legroom is here. And I just reviewed an SEL Edge, so it's pretty much gonna be the same. So, pretty great leg room again for my size, sitting behind myself. Seat back pockets are on both sides, even in this SC trim level, and that's interesting. I'm glad they did that, but I'm surprised. Rear AC vents are here. You get 2 USB-C charge ports down there. Let's see if we can zoom in on those. And then there is a look at the front from back here. And then this middle seat will fold down. Bottle holders are there. And then these lights are right there. And I like that we get those premium LED dome lights in the middle there. Grab handle, and then we can hang 1 plastic hanger, maybe 2 metal hanger hooks right there. Perfect for work shirts. And then that's how you can control the child lock. If you want to turn that to the left, that'll lock it. Turn it back to unlock it. Fuel fillers here. Now, one thing I do appreciate is having the standard LED headlamps and tail lights, even on this SE trim. So there's a look at that back end there. And I want to give a huge shout out to Ford Lincoln of Franklin for allowing me to review this Edge today. I'll leave a link below in the description to this vehicle in particular, as well as their entire new car inventory. They keep a pretty good selection here. And side pockets, you get 3 of those if you want stuff in the back but not rolling around. 12 volt here, pull up here, and then we do have a spare tire underneath, and this one also has a first aid kit. And I love that they throw in that there. That might have more than one use if you want to add fluids to something. But with it having a manual latch, we just pull down there. And before we look at the rear passenger seat, I'm just gonna run through this window sticker, and hopefully y'all can pick all this up. Just pause anywhere you need to. There are all the options. So not too much, but stickers at $40,770. So if you ever want to fold this seat down, all you have to do is just pull here. That'll fold flat, and you can run longer objects through to the front, and then just pull up to get it back into place. Very easy to do. And then to the front passenger seat, seat back can be adjusted here, seat bottom can be adjusted there. Now you can't move the seat up or down on this side or have lumbar support, but no big deal. 12 volt, little run through storage there. Then we have a lockable glove compartment here. Now as we come back around to the front, we're just gonna open the engine bay and take a look in there. And Sorry if y'all are picking up this wind noise. It can't make up its mind whether it wants to go or not. And this latch here has kind of been an issue. Feels loose, but it's just easy to use, so requires little pressure. Just pull that there. And then we have the 2-liter twin scroll turbocharged 4-cylinder there. That's a mouthful. But next, let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So we have that hard plastic vinyl wrap steering wheel here. There's the horn sound. That's kind of weird. Over here to the radio, we do get AM, FM, XM along with Bluetooth, and we also have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto compatibility.
Search for your vehicle on your device and select it once it is found.
And that's how you set that up. And then it'll probably ask you to confirm if you want to use CarPlay through your actual Bluetooth device. That's what I usually run into. We have a few games here. And then our settings are in here. If you want to adjust the sound, you can do that. Add a phone, we showed you that. And then vehicle settings, general settings, you can adjust your language, temperature units, distance units, all of that. And then the vehicle hotspot and different connectivity settings are in there. And then you have Ford Assistant as well as the valet mode. Now backup camera's there, pretty grainy picture, but the guidelines do follow you as you turn the steering wheel and you can see everything behind you. I just wish they would have had a better picture, but no big deal for me. And down here we have volume, which can be adjusted. We can click there to mute the audio, and then we can use this as a tune knob. We can seek here, hazards, and then a quick shortcut for the camera, and then we have a defroster shortcut as well. USB-A, USB-C port, storage there. Sorry, my hands are a little ashy. I've been washing them all day. And then to the shifter, reverse, neutral, drive, then your sport mode is right there. And then we have an electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, to the brake, press down to disengage. And then we have our auto stop toggle there. Now for those of you who are wondering, because in this glove compartment, we don't have necessarily an owner's manual. The owner's manual is actually in the screen itself, which I don't like, but I might get used to it if I have to use it once or twice, because you do have categories and so on and so forth. So it's probably easier than trying to find something in the actual menu, but I don't know. Center console space there, pretty deep pocket. And there's a view of the back from up here. I love that we get a sunglasses holder. And there are the dome lights there. Vanity mirror, we do get lights here even with this being an SE model. And then behind the steering wheel on the left side, blinkers. When the low beams are on, we can go ahead and toggle those high beams and then flash here. And then on the right side, we have our windshield wiper controls. One time, there's off, intermittent, low, high. We can adjust the intermittent here. And then we have our rear wiper off, intermittent, on there. And then just push back for the rear wiper fluid, pull up for the front wiper fluid. And then we can use these arrows here to go through either side. We do have two different digital menus on either side. So we can go through our entertainment or phone settings here. And then we can go through all of our typical gauge cluster functions using these arrows and the OK button here. So if you want to go through your display mode and toggle all that's being seen there, you can. And then your trip meters here, fuel economy's there, driver assist settings are here. So blind spot monitors, cross traffic alert, which all this is standard. And then your settings, if you want to go ahead and change the display setup there, you can change your language and whatnot, as well as all this like you could in the settings on the screen. Now over here, we can go through radio station presets, track lists, Bluetooth functions are also what these can be used for when you're on the phone, volume controls, mute, voice recognition, and then cruise on, cruise off. You can set your speed, resume or cancel there. Finally, there's a push button start. And here we have our key fob. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2024 Edge SE out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Ford Edge, I just drove an SEL. So I'm assuming this will drive a little more similarly, but what I want to touch on is just how different the overall ride and drive feels when you don't have the ActiveX seats or the leather wrap steering wheel or having the heated seats, and just see how much more uncomfortable, if at all, that is without having to pay the extra $6,000. See what that trade-off is. So as of now, it's driving pretty normally compared to the other one I just drove. I will say I feel the seat itself feels just as wide, like the same size and everything as the ActiveX one that I was just in. And I feel like my headroom, well, I know my headroom is quite a bit more, because this one does not have the Vista roof that I had in the SEL tester. So that is one big benefit of having a base model SE with no features, is you don't have to worry about compromising your headroom to get a sunroof, especially if you don't want to pay the extra money or you don't use it. I mean, that's just an added bonus, I guess. But I wish that I mean, a steering wheel cover will fix this, but just having this vinyl wrap plastic one, I don't like it at all. It just feels so cheap. But again, when you're used to having a leather wrap one in an SEL, that's going to happen. But if you're not used to that, it probably won't bother you as much. It's just something I noticed. It just feels that much more harsher compared to the leather wrapped one, especially where it has the grooves on the back bottom here. But up top, it doesn't feel as terrible. Now, one thing that is similar, I should say exactly the same as the SEL Edge, is the powertrain you get, and just the blow off sound, everything is exactly the same. And I feel like that's one of the best things about the Edge, is having this power setup, because it gets the job done. And on top of that, your fuel economy is pretty decent compared to other vehicles in the segment. If you look at a Nissan Murano, for instance, or a Chevy Blazer, you're getting much better fuel economy with this 2-liter turbo setup, and it doesn't feel strained at all. Still having that 8-speed automatic too, and then the all-wheel drive, just a big plus. But we're gonna try and give it a little throttle getting on the interstate here. And what's great about this is it's actually pretty quiet. So under light acceleration, I hear the wind noise, and it is windy out, but I hear the wind noise more than I hear the engine, which is a big plus with these. Now again, compared to a Chevy Blazer, and then on top of that, a Nissan Murano, a Toyota Venza, something like that, I feel like this is a pretty good option for the money. So for under $41,000, you get quite a bit. You get a nice powertrain, and the vehicle's just pretty impressive for me, especially for a base model. So I highly recommend one if you're in the market for something like a Murano or an SUV along those lines. And I mean, the brake pedal feels good. The overall posture that you get, even with this cloth seat, I prefer the ActiveX, especially because that one is power adjustable. But I mean, this isn't bad. But if you want, again, something that has 2 rows, has a lot of space inside, and you have a lot of cargo space behind the second row, definitely make sure you take a look at this 2024 Ford Edge SE with all-wheel drive.